Hey everyone, welcome back. Tim here, and today we're going over my best weapon combos for Apex Legends. Some of these combos absolutely no one is using, and they are being slept on. I've got a little bit of everything though, from those ultra meta and performance combos, stuff for ranked, game improvement, dropping 4K games, and more. So no matter the way you want to play, I have loadouts that you need to be utilizing. If I am trying as hard as I can, and I want something that is going to be performing and is my optimal loadout, it is going to be the Nemesis in the R99, something that is ultra meta and really that performance combo. The pros for this combo are pretty simple. The Nemesis and R9 are on top when it comes to their respective TTKs for their class of guns. This means they are pretty much the fastest killing weapons in the game. They're fairly easy to use. Both recoil patterns for both of these guns are pretty simple, although the R9 is a little bit easier than the Nemesis. The Nemesis with that 32 round mag is honestly crazy for a gun with this TTK and range, which definitely gives it the best performance at that mid range. And we're going to talk more about the R9 later, but for some negatives that you do need to be aware of when it does come to this combo, it's definitely ammo hungry. Both the R9 and the Nemesis absolutely chews through rounds. You're going to need a purple bag in my opinion to really have long lasting effectiveness. If you're not being aggressive enough, you're not going to be able to replenish the ammo via death boxes, which can also be a pretty big deal. So if you're a little bit more of a passive player, I probably would not use the Nemesis. This combo also does falter at the longer mid to long ranges, which of course is an assault rifle, so you really shouldn't expect long range performance. But if you want a little bit more versatility in your combos, you could sub out the Nemesis for the Hemlock, as the Hemlock does have the single shot option, which will help out at the longer side of mid range, so you can tap fire people. Burst weapons are also just not for everyone, so if you want to sub out the Nemesis, a Havoc could work pretty well for an energy gun, and the Flatline is going to be good if you do want a more traditional experience. At least the Nemesis will allow you to hold down the trigger, which can be greatly helpful if you do want a little bit of that full auto feeling. If you're looking for a ranked combo and something that I think provides the most consistent experience really at all ranges, is going to be the 30-30 backed up with the R99 again. This is going to be called my ranked consistency loadout, and I know it's going to perform really at all times during a ranked match. Specifically with the 30-30 though, it's one of the best guns in the game for a myriad of reasons. First, the big benefit is that it's not going to leave me with bag space or ammo issues. The 30-30 really only needs a couple stacks for the majority of the scenarios you are going to go into. It's going to save more room for light ammo, or of course more healing items, more grenades, utility items. It's incredibly versatile at all ranges. I can poke at really long ranges. Of course, I can hip fire at the close range. The big thing with the 30-30 is that since it's not going to eat up as much ammo as like the Nemesis, it means that if you are in a slower ranked environment and if you cannot get out there and loot quite as much, or if you are in a sweatier end game, you're not going to be pressured to have to run out and make a really dumb mistake or have to do something because you do run out of ammo. Also, because this weapon is just so good at poking enemies, this does mean that you can level up the entire squad's Evo shields if they do not have this weapon. And the 30 also has very little downtime, which means if you do want to apply constant pressure, the 30-30 is going to be great at this. It does keep people away pretty well. And the R99, of course, is going to remain that very consistent secondary, so if someone does get too close, you can whip that thing out and really just spray them down in no time. As for negatives with this combo, there really is not many. The 30-30 is actually crazy. If anything, I guess the 30-30 needs a skull piercer to perform optimally, and you're gonna really need an optic on the 30-30 because I think the iron sights are just absolutely trash. Back to the R9 though, one thing I didn't mention is that it does struggle off the drop. If an enemy gets a blue or purple armor and you miss a few rounds and you don't have a magazine on it, you literally can't kill them without reloading, which is a pretty big deal. So if you don't get a light mag later on in game, you're actually going to be hurting yourself quite a bit. This does make the car SMG a more flexible pick, but of course, at the cost of that small amount of performance, running double heavy can sometimes streamline and simplify things as well, which is pretty nice. We have so many more combos, but if you're ever looking for more content on Apex Legends, more ways to improve, check out my channel, subscribe for more, be sure to hit that bell, hit the like button on this video if you do enjoy it, and I greatly appreciate your support. If you're looking to be a little bit more present in your ranked fights and you want to push people a little bit more, you can rock something a little bit more aggressive, and I do want to now recommend the Flatline backed up with the PK or the Mastiff as secondary weapons. This combo is really meant for a more accurate shooter who understands timing and how to play aggressively. The Flatline though is a great in-between weapon with the effectiveness where it does great damage at mid-ranges to close ranges, but it also has a 30 round level 3 mag, which is huge for a weapon like this. This really just means you can have so much damage per mag, which is very welcomed when you are pushing and being more aggressive. The Flatline also just works with no attachments, which I find is very helpful and very nice. As for the secondary, it's definitely crazy critical to this combo, as you want the biggest swap to and one tap someone down if you can't clean them up with the flatline. This is why the PK is my first priority, and the Mastiff does work if you are struggling with accuracy. This combo is solid for pubs as well, but due to the slightly lower time to kill of this combo, because honestly, the flatline is just not comparable to an R9 when you are in the close range, it may not be the right environment for pub stomping, but this combo is definitely good for a flexible ranked player in my eyes, and the only negative, again, is going to be the TTK, which honestly isn't too big of a deal, as everything in Apex and in life is what you make of it. Sticking with ranked loadouts, if you're looking to be the backline kind of like support job for your squad, if you're anchoring the team, I am going to recommend the charge rifle backed up with the R99, and this is what I deem to be my defending combo. This combo is for you rocks out there. Someone's got to do it. Defend a spot, and of course, again, this typically is done in ranked, as pubs you are moving around quite a bit. This combo is really all about helping keep players away, but if they do get too close, you got that R99. The charge rifle is very difficult to use, but it's so good at applying pressure. 75 body hits means the player is stopped dead, and they do have the battery. Since ideally you are staying in the back and not moving, ripping huge 200 damage hits at range is also very nice. You can farm EVA shields, farm damage, while all still being effective from that back line. You are holding that position. R9, of course, is there again to back you up if anyone does get too close. The biggest negative with this combo is truly that the charge is near unusable at the close range, and you'll need to swap off this gun at endgame when enemies are just closer to you. Ammo consumption isn't as bad as it used to be, but you'll also need a blue bag or better and have enough sniper ammo. This is why I do recommend running someone like Lobo with this combo, so you can continually get ammo and you don't need to leave your anchor position. Remember, if you are the anchor in the squad, you need to be holding that building down, keeping people away, so the team does have somewhere to retreat to. While the Nemesis might be a little bit better than the TTK and overall function, I can't not recommend a combo that doesn't have the L-Star, because the L-Star is so cracked right now. This combo is also extremely unique with its function, and this is the L-Star with the R9 again, or of course you could rock an EVA 8, which is the first time I do want to recommend this shotgun. I don't think this combo is great for ranked, as the ammo consumption is absolutely insane on the L-Star, but this is my pub warrior combo due to the very unique nature of the L-Star not requiring reloading, which means a very steady amount of damage dealing. This is so helpful when you are in a multi-team fight, which is what pubs usually is, getting third party, fourth party, fifth party non-stop. L-Star can honestly do so much damage per mag, and if you haven't tried it yet, even without a barrel stabilizer, this thing absolutely beams. I also find getting hit by this gun to be very jarring, as the red color you get all over your screen is so disorienting, it almost instills fear on your enemies. The R9 continues to be a fair backup recommendation, but of course I do want to recommend the EVA 8, as the EVA is pretty good at quick damage bursts of around 450 damage per mag, which is honestly kind of busted, but once you do gotta reload, then you are in trouble, and obviously you need to basically be holding hands with the enemy, as the EVA isn't the best at range. The biggest negative of this combo is going to be having enough ammo, as it does go so fast with the L-Star, and I do think the L-Star requires a fairly skilled player to use it with effectiveness. Sometimes just using the same guns over and over can get dull really quite fast, and if you're someone like me, you love to experiment with different combos, and this combo is all about playing in a less linear way, and this is the longbow with the RE45, and this is like a defensive control and really like a speed combo. You're gonna get huge range and flexibility with the longbow, really at close, mid, and long ranges. The longbow is pretty good even with no attachments and an iron sight. A huge headshot with this thing can do pretty big damage for the higher damage profile, as it is a sniper, and you do got that higher multiplier on the headshots. If you do want big range, of course, you can carry two optics, maybe snagging a 2x, so if enemies are get closer, you swap to the 2x, but you also have a 4 to 8x in the bag, so you can just swap to those for long range. For me, I think the sweet spot for an optic on the longbow is a 2 to 4x. Ammo consumption isn't too bad on this combo as well, although I think the RE45 sometimes can really eat up rounds. Speaking of the RE45, it doesn't do as much damage as the R9 or CAR, but where it does lack in damage, it somewhat makes up with speed, and its very fast swap to and strafe speed is going to be what makes this pistol worth using, hence the scout, sniper, or speed combo I was mentioning at the beginning. I do not think this combo is too great of a ranked loadout, but it can still work quite well to farm damage in pubs, and if you can, run ballistic and put the RE45 in the sling, you'll pretty much be missing out on nothing in terms of TTK when you pop that ult. The next combo is probably for those players who ask the question I get honestly asked the most: how do I get 4K damage badges? The previously recommended 30-30 is going to work pretty well, but I do want to recommend the Rampage backed up with the Peacekeeper. I honestly think the Rampage is one of the most slept on weapons right now, as it draws a very fine line between damage output and damage per mag, and overall utility to save ammo while also being effective really at the close to even mid to longer side of mid-range. This flexibility packed into a spray weapon makes it so easy to use, which is also nice for newer or less experienced players. The PK I prefer to use as a secondary here, as I don't need more than one stack of ammo, which means I can just stock all that heavy ammo or get some grenades. And if you are playing Fuse, then this need for less ammo is very welcomed, as this combo is awesome for someone who does want to stack utility items like thermites or more healing items, but still play very aggressive or in a more unique way. This may also work for Horizons out there if they want more arc stars with her black hole. This combo is really just awesome. It's easy to use, don't sleep on it. The damage per mag that you can do with the Rampage is huge, and you won't need to pick up as much ammo as you would with something like a Flatline or a Hemlock or a Nemesis. Looking to take your Apex improvement or your growth more seriously, then this next combo is definitely going to be for you. This is the Wingman backed up with the Peacekeeper, but Tim, the Wingy is in the care package, I know, and I will recommend the Sentinel until you do find the Wingman. The big reason this combo is so effective at building your skill and just improving in Apex with your gun skill is because it's all about pushing yourself to do better and get more accurate, as if you miss shots, you are pretty much dead. It isn't an easy combo and you will struggle at first, but once you do get a baseline skill down with the Sentinel and the Peacekeeper, it can really do wonders to help build your level of confidence and skill. These two weapons also mean you can peek fire, so you fire shot, get cover, fire shot, get cover. This is something that you definitely need to learn in Apex Legends, and since you don't have the spray weapon, this is going to help you do this. The Wingman in its current care package form is actually kind of crazy in terms of its power, which means this combo is going to perform, and the PK is great for close range precision. Plus, it's going to help you learn timing and maximizing your damage output again and lessening the damage you intake. The Sentinel is so good as a supplemental weapon, and it actually functions very similar to a Wingman, with of course a lot more range, just not as much raw power due to the slower fire rate. There's something so satisfying by hitting a like 160 damage headshot with the Sentinel, which does make it fun to use on its own. If you're not a fan of the Nemesis and you want to slow your ammo usage, or you are trying to separate ammo usage from your squad, I will recommend my alternate meta combo, or the flex combo, of the Hemi and the Car SMG. This combo is really just all about being more flexible. It's going to give you the viability at all ranges, as the Hemlock can lock in some tap firing at the mega long ranges, and then the Car SMG will have either mag to help you get it kitted earlier on. And of course, you can run either light or heavy, which again will help you be a little bit more versatile and split ammo up from your teammates. I think the Hemlock very slightly underperforms the Nemesis, but it's still great, and you won't be missing out on much in terms of top tier play if you do use this combo. We already had a brief mention of a damage farming combo, but if you want a very easy way to get damage because maybe you lack some accuracy or you are trying to stay a little bit further away, I will recommend the triple take with a Havoc or Volt. Volt being the easier option to use but less effective at handling its own in close range as a secondary. Triple take's 3 pellet spread is honestly just OP for some big damage and ease of use at all ranges. The triple take does not take a lot of ammo. Double energy simplifies your looting experience and allows you to really just focus on farming enemies. The triple take is good in close range as a pinch, as the 3 pellet spread kind of works like a mini EVA 8, and the Havoc with the level 3 mag means you can more or less just hold that trigger down and mow over enemies. The Volt again is going to be an easier secondary option if you can't control recoil as well, and I do think that the biggest negative of the triple take is that you do have to wait for the choke to activate, which means it is going to slow down your overall damage output, whereas the Rampage you can kind of just spray like we were mentioning earlier. If you are a true pub warrior, if you're looking to sweat it out as much as you can, or if you are looking to take pubs maybe a little bit more freely and honestly try to get a 20 bomb, then you are going to want to try the R99 backed up with a Massive or Peacekeeper. This is what I refer to as my sweat combo. You're basically going to be pushing everything with no regards for your safety, and you don't need a mid-range weapon because you are getting in close to them. The R99 can actually be used at the longer side of close range to the closer side of mid-range, which does allow you to have some flexibility, but is of course going to to require a very accurate shot. The R9 is going to be your main in this scenario. The PK is going to be your backup. The R9 we already spoke about a ton. Fastest TTK out there, quick reloads, which is awesome. Similarly with the already mentioned PK, you're going to have the biggest swap to and one tap someone down. The Massive, however, is great for single round reloads, meaning less time needed between shots. And this does mean that you can kind of partially reload the mag over time, and you don't have to do a full mag reload like you would with the PK, which does allow for a little bit more steady damage output, which for me, I honestly kind of like when I am pushing in pubs, which does mean the R9 with the Mastiff is a little bit better over the R9 and the PK. If you're struggling with Apex Legends, you don't really want to use the meta combos because you're getting bored of them, then I will recommend the Havoc backed up with the Sentinel. Who doesn't love big shot damage from the Sentinel when it is charged up? It works as a close range quick scoping or a shotgun-like weapon as well, which does mean the Sentinel is pretty flexible. Havoc, honestly, we just mentioned a few combos ago, crazy high damage per mag, works almost like an SMG in close range, which is superb, but you also have a little bit more of a AR type feel because obviously it is an assault rifle. What's your favorite combo? Be sure to drop a comment down below, slam that like button if you enjoyed this video. You might as well check out this video for more. I will see you in the next one. Happy gaming, legends.